was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
The details. The construction and subsequent commissioning of the Chawama Level 1 hospital has stalled due to the effects of the coronavirus. Chawama Ward 2 Councillor Leonard Sikombe has confirmed the development to Camnet TV News in an interview. Mr. Sikombe hopes that works would resume as soon as possible, stating that once completed, the hospital will play a key role in the dispensation of healthcare among the people of Chawama. We have more in the following report.
Government, through the Ministry of Health, had embarked on a project to upgrade health facilities to Level 1 hospitals, among them Matero and Chilenje, have since been completed and handed over for use. Chawama Clinic, however, is still under construction with at least 80% of the works done. The upgraded hospital, which was supposed to be completed and commissioned in March this year, has since stalled due to the effects of COVID-19. Area councillor in which the hospital is located, Leonard Sikombe, is hopeful that soon the construction of the hospital will resume under the new normal to allow the completion of the project. Councillor Sikombe is hopeful that once the hospital is completed, will help mitigate the health challenges in the area.
I'm happy that the healthcare system has improved tremendously in Chawama. If you've seen the healthy facility that has been built at the moment, it's quite massive. Just that COVID has delayed in the commissioning. I think by now they must have commissioned. The contractor has indicated that it's just remaining 2 months to finish up the small touches which are there. Otherwise, almost 95% of the work is done. It's good that this thing is actualizing when I'm there. You know, being born at like a small clinic and then looking at it as a leader now, the facility has grown, it has expanded to a hospital, a first-level hospital. It's impressive.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Health spokesperson Dr. Abel Caballos has confirmed that the project has stalled purely because of the COVID-19.
That's a fully funded project by the Japanese government, and it's being undertaken by Shimizu. So some of the experts are saying that were there from Shimizu, you know, they closed due to the COVID effect. So I think the only delay is not anything to do with funding. The delay is basically due to the COVID.
The upgrade of these hospitals is being done with the help from the people of Japan under Phase 2 at a total cost of 400 million kwacha. Chawama has been under construction for close to 2 years now. Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
A governance activist, Francisco Mumba, has alleged that corruption has become too rife in Zambia. Speaking when he featured on Camnet's breakfast show Saturday morning, Mr. Mumba has alleged that the corruption being witnessed today has been seen before as those in leadership, has not been seen before rather, as those in leadership have decided to embrace it. We have more in this report.
Corruption has become a topical issue in Zambia. A governance activist, Francisco Mumba, alleges that corruption has even become more rife under the Patriotic Front PF-led government.
What stands strong against the PF today in this country are about 2 or 3 things. And what stands first that everybody's going to talk about is the corruption. Because it seems to have been that in this government, corruption has been tolerated. Tolerated maybe because of maybe the way the government has handled a number of these cases that have come before them.
The fight against corruption in Zambia can only succeed if we remove it from the realm of politics, especially partisan politics. we have noted the narrative by named opposition political parties, civil society organizations, and certain sections of the media on the question of presumption of innocence. Now, we must be reminded that according to Article 82 of the Zambian Constitution, it provides that every person who is charged with a criminal offense shall be presumed innocent until he or she is proved or pleads guilty.
Do you have any evidence to substantiate your claims?
Of course, evidence is very difficult to bring in respect of corruption. But I was telling myself, some of these evidences, you find them on the road. Just walk on the road. A road that was done 6 months ago, today it has cracks, serious potholes. 6 months. Then I'm asking myself, where are the engineers? That's a starting point. The engineers who gave out a completion statement that this road is ready to be used by the public. Where are they? Tell me, unless you tell me that we begin to lose confidence in our engineers, then I'll agree that maybe let's leave it that way. But all this, what smells to you and me, Kalan, is the same corruption. That shoddy works are being done, people are being paid huge sums of money on shoddy works. That money should have gone to a clinic in Kalingalinga for medicine.
What are the consequences of corruption?
Corruption will end up having a number of people dying as a result of no services in certain areas. So if State House treats corruption in the manner they are treating it, in my view, I think it will show and it will give a very bad signal out there that the government is not serious with the issue of fighting corruption.
Mr. Mumba said this when he appeared on the Camnet Breakfast Show Saturday morning. Kalan Muchima reporting for Camnet News.
President Edgar Lungu has handed over modern housing units to security officers in Monze and Mazabuka districts of Southern Province. The head of state says it is his government's desire to see to it that officers are given decent accommodation across the country. And Southern Province Minister Edifai Hamugale says the housing units will motivate the young officers to marry and produce more children. According to him, this is because the officers will have somewhere to shelter their babies. We have more in this report.
President Edgar Lungu has had a busy two-day working visit in the Southern Province. On Saturday, the head of state was in Monze district and Mazabuka for a series of programs, among them to hand over housing units to the Zambia Correctional Services officers and the Zambia police officers under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Here, President Lungu reaffirmed his government's continued desire to improving the living standards of security officers in Zambia.
The 70 housing units we are commissioning here in Monze today, Southern Province, are part of the countrywide 12,000 housing units that we must construct to address the shortage of decent housing for security officers under the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampiongo accompanied the President.
The dignity you have brought to your men and women in uniform, Your Excellency, is for everyone to see. And I know when they are smiling, they are being genuine.
Southern Province Minister Edifai Hamukale says the new housing units will motivate the young officers to marry and later fulfill the scripture of pro-recreation.
Most of our officers are very young in the correctional services and they were living in smaller houses. And they desire to have more of these, but I don't know where to put them. And now, we will gladly obey the Lord's command to go and subdue the earth and have as many rightful inhabitants of this earth as possible.
Zambia Correctional Services Commissioner General Dr. Chileshe Chisela was full of praise for President Edgar Lungu's administration.
For so many years, we were called prisoners. We were in tatters. We were the least service ever.
But ladies and gentlemen, see around and see the transformation that His Excellency has brought. The rank that I'm wearing as Commissioner General was not the rank by that time. The highest ranking officer was a commissioner. You gave us this rank, Commissioner General. If anyone is doubting, ladies and gentlemen, you can see my pips and the Inspector General's pips. They are equal. You can go and see the Army General and the Generals from National Service and ZAF. They are equal. Under your leadership, Your Excellency.
Meanwhile, several police officers were deployed on the streets of Monde in Southern Province to protect President Edgar Lungu. This was after hundreds of Opposition United Party for National Development (UPND) supporters swamped the streets chanting party slogans. The supporters lined up the streets as President Edgar Lungu's motorcade made its way. It is reported that the situation degenerated to this when police in the company of PF cadres went round to remove UPND Chitenge materials hanged on treetops. This was before the president arrived in Monde for his official duties. And moving on in other news, one of Zambia's mobile network providers, Airtel, has been accused of robbing people of their hard-earned cash through the company's mobile money services. African Responsible Citizens Platform Director Simon Sibanda Saturday staged a lone protest at Airtel's Mandahill branch to demand for a 300 kwacha refund for electricity purchased on Friday but was never credited with the units while his money was deducted. We have more in this report.
I'll sit here. So, yeah.
Director of the African Responsible Citizens Platform, Simon Kabanda, went protesting at Airtel Mandahill in Lusaka for poor customer service. According to Kabanda, he bought Zesco electricity units worth 300 kwacha using Airtel mobile money on Friday the 3rd of July 2020, but did not receive his token from Friday the 3rd to Saturday the 4th until he went protesting, demanding his money back.
Yeah, the problem is this. Yesterday we bought electricity at 1402 using Airtel money. Okay, now we didn't receive any token from Airtel or from Zesco. Okay, only received a message saying the transaction is still in progress. So up to now, we are talking about yesterday. Up to now, it's still in progress. Let me just read what the message said here. Okay? Yeah. This is what it says. This is what it says. Payment to ZESCO is in progress. Okay? And transaction amount. This is 1402, Friday. What time is it now? This is 10:45. Still in progress.
You
now,
that on Friday?
Yes, on Friday, yesterday, 1402. And the payment to ZESCO is still in progress. So what kind of service is this? And I'm not the one sitting here because of the poor service by Airtel. So the Airtel has to improve their service. They have to improve their service. You can't buy an item 14 hours on Friday. This is 10:47 on Saturday. You still haven't received the product, the service.
As you can see, he is sitting down at Airtel office at Mandahill, where he says he was ignored until the arrival of Camnet TV news crew. However, after many consultations, Airtel Human Resource Manager Yuyo Kambi confirmed to Camnet TV Mr. Kabanda was refunded his 300 kwacha.
Has been refunded?
Yes, he has been refunded.
Because I was just from...
We had a system failure.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. But he has been refunded. You can actually ask him right now. He has been refunded. The 300 kwacha, he has been refunded.
Okay.
Mr. Kabanda bitterly complained about the poor customer service from Airtel, which he says he is not the only one who is experiencing this.
And I'm not the only one in this problem. So we are in the dark. I'm not the only one in the dark. So I phoned customer care. Many of them, I talked to 5 people. None of them has been helpful. That's why I decided to come to the service center. Even inside here, they have not been helpful.
What have they told you inside?
No, what they have said is their system. Their system, if there is that problem, it takes either 24 hours or 48 hours to be resolved. Yeah. Either the money will be credited back to the account or they give the token. But look, how do you buy something and it takes 24 hours or 48 hours? It is supposed to be instant.
Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Patriotic Front PF Bwana Mukubwa Member of Parliament Jonas Chanda has urged all leaders in the country to preach messages of peace and unity. Mr. Chanda says it is the duty and the responsibility of all leaders to ensure that there is unity in the country. The lawmaker made these remarks in Parliament Friday ahead of the commemoration of the National Heroes and Unity Days, which falls on Monday 6th and 7th July 2020. Mr. Chanda states that Zambians should endeavor to maintain the unity of the country as endorsed in the national constitution.
I was quoting from page 9 of His Excellency President's speech when he was talking about tribalism and hate speech not having any place in Zambia, and where I was urging that this is not only the responsibility of people in the ruling party, because I've heard this thing of passing the ball. You in the ruling party, it's your job to keep Zambia as one Zambia, one nation. And I was saying it's a responsibility of every leader, the ruling, the opposition, civil society, every Zambian, in fact, to keep Zambia as one. And I was saying that the president was very clear. He said that we are all equal stakeholders, equal shareholders in this enterprise called Zambia. So with that, it means that there's no superior tribe, there's no inferior tribe. There's only one Zambia, one nation. That is what we are, equal, before the nation. And I was saying that when we have a perspective as leaders, because we are leading a lot of people are looking up to us. We have to lead by example. You cannot put, for example, your tribe, your political affiliation ahead of your nationality. So Zambia should always come first. And we should distinguish issues of national importance versus those of partisan importance and other minor issues.
Patriots for Economic Progress, PEP President Sean Tembo has called on the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, to urgently call for the stakeholders meeting to discuss modalities of how political parties will be campaigning in prisons. Mr. Tembo states that political parties in Zambia must be given a roadmap on how the process will be done, especially that it will be happening for the very first time. The opposition leader expressed expresses concern that if this issue is not promptly dealt with, it might cause problems in the run-up to the 2021 general elections. Mr. Tembo also notes there is a deliberate scheme to advantage the PF with the prison vote, urging other opposition political parties to begin scrutinizing this idea as soon as possible before it is too late. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has announced that Zambian prisoners will be allowed to vote in the 2021 general elections, a move which has raised eyebrows across the political divide.
When you look at prisoners are also affected by the manner a nation is governed. If you have an incompetent government in office, the way we have at the moment, then obviously prisoners' conditions are going to be deplorable. They are going to be in overcrowded places. They are not going to have sanitary conditions. They are going to be subjected to high risks of COVID-19 because of overcrowding. All those are symptoms of having an incompetent government in office. So if prisoners are affected by the quality of government that is put in office, then why shouldn't prisoners have a right to contribute or to participate in the selection of a government whose decisions are going to affect them as prisoners? So from a humanity point of view, prisoners have a right to vote. The only issue which arises is the logistics that must be put in place to ensure that as prisoners vote, there is a level playing field in terms of the ability of the opposition to campaign in prisons. And also the issue of accountability of votes that the prisoners actually cast in the prison. You understand? Because the prison is a restricted area. So the question then remains, will the opposition and the ruling party have equal access to those prisoners in terms of campaigning, in terms of accountability of votes when those votes are actually cast?
People's Alliance for Change, PAC, has welcomed calls for the opposition to field one presidential candidate in the 2021 general elections. Mr. Banda, however, says the presidential candidate must be one who is popular in Zambia. He also says the single candidate must be appealing to the Zambian populace for easy selling. We have details in this report.
To alliance or not to alliance in 2021, opposition political parties in Zambia have been putting heads together trying to look for ways on how to win elections in the forthcoming 2021 general elections. What is currently on the ground is that some opposition political parties have considered with fielding a single presidential candidate in the 2021 general elections. Well, it is already clear that the United Party for National Development UPND and the National Democratic Congress Party NDC plus the Republican Progressive Party RPP and others such as PEP might choose one candidate for the elections. Now, it is not yet known how possible that will be, considering the fact that each leader of each political party in Zambia wants to be president. Anderson Banda is the president for People's Alliance for Change party. He says he has no problems working with other opposition leaders to throw out the ruling Patriotic Front, considering a candidate who is able to deliver to the Zambian people is the one who will stand for the opposition. He told Camnet TV in a phone call interview, change of government by itself, because people just want change, will not result in any positive change in the lives of many Zambians.
An alliance is good, but we have to look at what is the purpose of an alliance. You know, because the people that are calling for an alliance in Isaki, they just want to say, let's just change, you know. And 10 years ago, in 2011, before the elections, people were saying, we just want change. And 10 years later, they're again saying, we just want change. So what do you want the alliance for? Do you just want change, or you want the next government to deliver the services that you've been asking for? Because an alliance has got other advantages that people are not looking at. It's like they're just focused on wanting change, you know. When people get into alliances, they sign agreements about positions, what. Now, what's a guarantee that, you know, those people that are going to be put in those positions are going to be, talented or skilled to deliver on behalf of the people?
However, new Congress Party President Peter Chanda has his own views about fielding one candidate for the 2021 general elections.
Acknowledge the democratic rights of opposition political parties to come together in an alliance. We have heard calls by the NDC leader to calling upon the opposition to field one candidate in the 2021 election. We want to state and echo the same words that Dr. Nevas Mumba stated, that opposition alliance, where it comes to opposition political parties coming together in terms of fielding one candidate, this is a matter that has failed in the Zambian political scene. And we are aware of the fact that there is one political leader that wants to always be the right person to be the candidate, the sole candidate to stand on behalf of other political parties. But one thing that the Zambian people need to know is that at the moment, there is no cause for removing the government. If people are trying to copy and paste the Malawian scenario, I want to state that Zambia is in a different, totally different case, because we have a government that is delivering. I'm speaking as a very objective political leader, in as much as we understand that we have a democratic right to change government at any instance. But I want to state that we gave UNIP 27 years, we gave MMT 20 years, and PF has just been in office for just about 8 years now. And it's not everything. 80% of what the Zambians expected from the PF is being executed. And at the moment, we can be able to say which angle has the PF failed to tackle. If we talk about
the challenge in this proposed alliance is that some are popular, some are not. Now, the unpopular ones in this case seem not to want to support the popular ones, as they also want to be at plot 1. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
For now, we take a break, but do stay tuned as we have more interesting stories lined up for you.
To increase sales of your products and services, advertise on Camnet TV. Reach your clients and target markets directly and see your business grow. For special rates, you can contact our marketing department on
0955 664 305 or 0978 290 626. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. In international news, police have arrested 2 of their own in connection with Thursday morning incidents in which Boboda rider set himself on fire inside a traffic police office at Masaka Central Province Police Station. Hassan Walungembe, 29, died after setting himself on fire following failed attempts to recover his impounded motorcycle. It is reported by the time that police impounded the motorcycle, it was with Walungembe's friend, identified as Twahan Kawesi, who was accused of flaunting curfew guidelines. Eyewitnesses said the deceased entered the office at 8 a.m. and tried to negotiate with traffic officers he found inside to give him back the motorcycle, which was reportedly impounded on Tuesday. The suspects, according to police spokesperson Fred Nang, are Sergeant Julius Walu and Sergeant Ibrahim Sesenga. The latter the latter rather is the acting officer in charge of traffic in Masaka district. And moving on in sports news, COSAFA General Secretary Sue Destobes has provided an update on the hosting of the organization's tournament in 2020, which has been hampered by the COVID-19 pandemic that has brought football on the continent to a virtual standstill. COSAFA was due to host 6 competitions this year, including senior under-20 and under-17 events for both men and women. There is also an under-20 women's tournament that is planned, but is dependent on the AUSC Region 5 games going ahead in Lesotho. That sports item brings us to the end of Camnet TV's main news broadcast. But before we go, a look at the headlines once again. PAC backs calls for opposition to field one candidate in 2021. South Minister says new houses will motivate officers to produce more children. ECZ urged to call for a stakeholders meeting over prison campaigns. And in international news, 2 police officers arrested over the death of a Boboda rider in Uganda. And in sports news, COSAFA provides update on status of 2020 tournaments. Before we go, our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Proverbs 17:17, and it reads, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." This has been your anchor, Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, on Camnet TV, not just another channel. God bless.